So I started running because of my mom. She would nag me a lot and wanted me to run with her, and so finally I did. I met up with her running coach and begrudgingly and kicking and screaming ran with her for a while, and then kept running and eventually started actually enjoying it and having fun. Trained for a lot of races, had a really, really good time, was really able to kind of find myself in the community that I didn't think I would be able to find myself in. Being able to become part of a community that I was scared of, and you get stuck in kind of a routine with it, and really it became part of my life for a while. Now running after having a baby has been a lot of time for me to focus on myself, and so when my friends, pushed me back out there, which was great, they were fantastic, and I started taking that time for myself again, it's been amazing. That's kind of why I run now, is to get my own personal time and to be able to relax and decompress, put everything on pause for the day, and take that 30 minutes to an hour to really just connect with myself, knowing that I'm still able to take care of myself and my kid and my husband and my job and my family, while making sure that it all stays in balance the best it can.
I never ran a race. I didn't do much but just run and enjoy the feeling and the freedom and everything I could see outside. And that's pretty much what I did for years. Then one day I went to the doctor because I had a couple of lymph nodes that swelled up. The next morning I got a phone call from that doctor. Turns out I have stage 4 throat and neck cancer. So I went through daily radiation, weekly chemo for a while, lost about 45 pounds to my svelte self now. In the middle of that, somebody from American Cancer Society got hold of me and talked me into running a marathon. Okay, I can't walk, but hell, I can do a marathon. The first marathon was at Disney. I ran 5 additional marathons in the next 12 months. So I had 6 marathons in that first 12 months, just for me to prove that I could live again. Over the next 4 years, I've placed first now in marathons, in every distance of race. I somehow qualified now for the 5th time for Boston. But from that, so running not only gave me my health back, it's maintained my health. It's brought me into an incredible world of people, some great friends. And it's something anybody can do, because the only person that cares how fast we go is us. Unless you're going to win the Olympics or put yourself through college on a scholarship, it's all about you. It's your health, it's your personal time, it's your way to get away from everything. And that's my brief but spectacular moment on running.
I'm Jamie, and I started running in high school and absolutely fell in love. I've really grown with the sport and then grown with my friends, and I really think that's my biggest story. My oldest, who is 12 years old, was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. I really use it as a therapy. When I run a lot by myself, I get to work through all my problems. It helps me be the best mom I can be. My last marathon that I ran in December of 2017 in Jacksonville, I had trained after I had my last child and really wanted to qualify for Boston one more time so I could run with my girlfriend who had never run it before. And leading up to the race, training was going well, but my son was definitely taking a spiral with his behaviors at school and just really not doing well. I'd say a week before the marathon, he ended up at Wolfson's behavioral unit and was checked in there. And this was all during the time when I was supposed to compete in the marathon. And I went back and forth, should I do it? Should I not do it? And I decided to do it because I thought, I've worked hard for this, and he can't do it, so I'm gonna do it for him. All my good friends and family showed up, and they all, it was just amazing to have 20 plus people out there, including my family, carry me through that finish. And I did it. So, that's really my fondest memory that I'm crying about, but it really speaks to the fact that I have such an amazing support system, and I wouldn't have, found out that unless I hadn't started running, 7 years ago.
My name is Fritz. I'm 57 years old. I started running in 2005. My wife actually was the first runner in our family. I want to make sure I get that in there. We both just wanted to stay in shape until the kids graduated. My wife and I walked a lot together through the years. And one day we're on a walk and I said, I kind of have a bucket list thing of doing a marathon. And she looked at me and she said, well, you're getting kind of old, you better do it quick. In 2013, I ran the Savannah Marathon. I ran it with my two sons, who have both done marathons, and I did that training pretty much on my own. In the latter part of that year, a couple of friends of mine told me that I needed to join a running club, and they were both members of PRS, so I said, those people do stuff crazy, like they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and run, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, I joined PRS in January of 2014, and became one of those crazy 5 a.m. runners. And my wife subsequently joined the club as well. We've both found groups that we can run with. It's become about surrounding yourself with a group of people who on some level is just as crazy as you are. It's also about the January track mornings when it's 22 and it's freezing and you're still out there doing it for some reason. It's just a community that I really can't explain. It's amazing the things you learn about people when you run 16, 18, 20 miles with them at a time. I got into it a little bit later. I still have a goal of somehow qualifying for Boston. I think I'm going to have to wait for keep getting older so that my qualifying time keeps coming down, and one day possibly my actual speed and the qualifying time will meet and I'll be able to qualify for the Boston Marathon.
So my running journey actually started with Lululemon. I played collegiate soccer in college, and that kind of put me in a space transitioning into working as an educator in Lululemon to missing the team feeling and competition. So our assistant store manager at the time, Maria Kugler, invited me to run a 50K, and I agreed to it despite the really far distance because I was just wanting to go to a race with her that was far away, and I was up for an adventure. Little did I know that that's where I would develop my love for running competitively. And Maria and I started the race together, and along the course somewhere I just fell in love with the process of racing. So 5 hours into racing, that was a new love for me, and started signing up for more local races, and I made other friends within the running community. That's when I first got my running coach. So the thing that keeps me continuing to do it is, I think a lot like other runners, is chasing new goals, making new personal records, and having new experiences. In the future, that includes me running in the Marathon Olympic Trials in 2020, which is something when I was running that 50K that wouldn't have even been on my radar.